Hey, how's everybody doing? So, this is Tony with the podcast channel. Hey, so we have Mr. David joining in with us from the Washburn
So we have
University.
Mr. David.
Hold on, joining in with us from the Wash, Washburn University Tractor Pull, May 1st at 9 a.m. So I know a lot of people have had questions, comments, concerns, whatnot. So I called Mr. David and I said, "Hey, is there any way we can do a sit down and let's answer some of these questions?" So
Love to.
Mr. David's been happily obliged to sit down and speak on the things getting ready to happen in Atlanta, Georgia with Skills USA. Some of us had questions on what Skill USA or what's going on over there. So what's going on, Mr. David? How you doing today?
I'm doing real well. What a wonderful weather we've got for this Easter. I don't know about the rest of the folks on here, but like Thanksgiving, I got plenty to eat. Pretty
I
happy guy.
hear that. Yes,
Yep.
because I know me and you's not that far apart. We're about give take 2.5, 3 hours apart. So I'm over here in central Missouri, and you're over there in Topeka ish area. So
Yep. Topeka-ish.
yep. So I know I did have some questions on what is Skills USA. What is that exactly?
So for those folks that have been in the trade schools, there has been a event to test your skill against everybody else, and it would start at local level, regional level, state level, then move on to nationals. And skills means that it represents so many of the things that are in our trade schools, like auto body, diesel, automotive, welding, carpentry. And then there's also some personal tests that can be taken, like job interview or other things related to that. And so the young people get to actually sit there and to get trained during the year. And then they
Mhm.
test their skills against each other. And I don't know exactly the number that are going that have made it to our skills in Atlanta, Georgia, but I believe we're somewhere around 13 or even more, might even be 30 for I know. Washburn has always been very, very strong in skills and skills competition. But as you can imagine, moving anybody, not even including a large number of people to Atlanta, Georgia, especially now, is very expensive.
Oh
So
yeah.
Washburn has had a really popular car show for over, I think this is our 25th anniversary there on our Huntoon campus. And
Wow.
I had a little sneaky tractor pull at the same time last year.
Oh
And the
yeah.
administration came to me and said, "Would you like to move that up front?" And so all of these pieces of this tractor pull, including your phone call today and this podcast, are coming together quickly. I've only been in the sport for about a year. I've met so many people that have represented 30 years in this sport. I had no idea of the magnitude of not only the uh, engineering and the design of these machines, but also the pleasant um, humanity that
Conversation. Yeah.
it's just amazing. And I want to share that with my young people more than anything, even though that we're working towards a fundraiser to send these young people to Atlanta this spring. I want to see the world embrace these young people. And the transformation that comes from that is something that's priceless. I mean, I've come from six-figure incomes in the industry, and people go, "Why are you teaching?" And I go, "Really, in all honesty, watching the gold." And this I'm really hoping is going to be one of those launches that we will continue to do annually.
Yeah. So me and you was talking earlier, and you mentioned that you was a younger feller, reaching up in the 60s, and
Yeah.
I'm down here in the 40s, and
Hmm.
you know, and like I've mentioned in other videos, this is a, you know, this sport. and like you mentioned in the car show, or I've mentioned one of my older boys is doing demo there with his dad. It doesn't matter what the trade is, as long as we can get out here and learn something in any age bracket, it's absolutely amazing. And it sounds like what you guys have going on over there at Washburn is absolutely amazing. And the garden tractor pooling, I mean, you may have met a couple people here and there or whatnot, but until you meet that one person that maybe knows somebody, and I'm not saying that that is me, but because I've met people that can reach out to thousands more, and this sport here, we're always out there to see who's the best of the best. But when it comes down to kids or it comes down to a fundraiser, we like to show out and we like to show up with our stuff and and put on a good show. And especially this pool here, this to us is a testing tune.
It is
So
a
a
test.
testing tune,
Yeah.
so a testing tune to us is show up. It's X amount per hook,
Right.
and hook as many times as you want to test our stuff.
Yes.
And that's what this is, with what you guys have going on now. But all this money is going towards you guys, so you guys can go to Atlanta, Georgia, with the kids, and so they can put their skills on a whole different platform or level set. Sorry, a level set with everybody else.
Well, you can imagine probably anybody that's listening to us, we have been put to the challenge sometime in our life,
Oh
and
yeah,
and we may have done poorly. And when we were done, we go, dang it, I was just so wound up that I couldn't think straight. Making it so they don't have to worry about the money and making it so they are more comfortable about getting ready for the skill. We work on that mentality side quite a bit. Like I mentioned to you earlier, for instance, our auto body student took second in the nation last year. So we tend to be strong, and the simple fact of is that we have been at this for a while, and it's not only the skill but the personality and confidence with inside yourself, and knowing that mistakes are good things, and being scared is a good thing, and stepping out of what I call the fishbowl where they're leaving their home. I mean, so many young people today, especially after COVID, don't know what it's like to step outside of their little fishbowl. They don't have any communication talents sometimes. But this particular semester has surprised me. I believe we're outside of the whole COVID timeline that has happened,
yeah,
and they are chomping at the bit to be their best. And one of the things that I found out early was motorsports is the fastest way to test somebody's abilities.
yep,
And the thing about, if you fail at a motorsport, you're twice as determined to do it right.
yep.
And in other things, when you fail at something, you kind of give up sometimes. But here, no, I got something to prove, and I'm doing it in front of people. And I want to take the training that I've had. I want to create new ideas. I want to put them to the test. And having you guys interested in coming to our small little event that's now sounding like it's growing, it's going to even raise my bar, because now I know what a good track looks like. I need to make that good track. I know what parking is going to be like. Camaraderie is only one thing, but putting on a good show, as you said, is now a new priority for everybody involved here at Washburn.
Yeah, and I mean it's not really don't don't be putting my money where my mouth is. But I mean we will, we like to show up to a good benefit,
Yeah.
help kids, help a fellow, puller that's either down on his luck or, has passed on or whatever. We like to show out. But like I said, is like you said earlier, is we spoke earlier before all this. Now, like I said earlier, is you guys are with the automotive automotive side of things over in the Washburn,
Yeah.
and you guys have other things going on. I'm just a guy in a 10 by 10 shed trying to do this stuff and trying to get my name out there with the podcast and everything else. But it's, and like you said, it's all a learning. You're in front of your peers, you're learning whatnot, and uh, like right before we got on the live here, is I had, like I told you earlier, is we're reaching from Kansas all the way to Maryland, down to Georgia, down up towards the Great Lakes up north, and I had Fuller Ed out of Ohio shoot me a message a while ago and said, "Hey, I'm glad everything's working out." He's the one that's helped me here.
Hmm.
And so now that we putting our skills to test in front of our peers, and I'll tell my kids the same thing I'll tell anybody else. When you guys are out here showing your thing in front of your peers, they're absolutely excited. The only person that will ever put you down is a person behind the keyboard that didn't show up. That is the
Yeah.
only person who will ever put you down besides yourself because you didn't think you did it, you didn't think you did good enough. But no, this is an absolutely amazing thing you guys are getting ready to do. I know there's a lot of Kansas hookers over there,
There
and
is.
there's a lot of us Missourians that'll show up.
I've
And
had.
like I said, I won't be there. This is the kind of stuff we want to shoot live with and get out there. But like I said, I've got prior arrangements. I've got my kids going on in down by Joplin, Missouri, with the track and field with Special Olympics. So, I'll be down there, but I absolutely hope to see videos and pictures of what you guys are going to do this year.
We will be very proud of what we're doing. We've got so many machines that have been, uh, for the lack of better words, re-engineered because we've talked about gear ratios and tire size and tread depth and
You said earlier stock. Don't be talking about gear ratios and all that stuff. Don't be doing that.
well
You
now we
said you
got
want
to
you want you
now.
want lawn. You
Huh?
want lawn
Well,
uh,
one
lawn
class
stock.
is pure stock. One class is
Oh,
pure.
one.
The 950 and 1050 singles, 4,000 RPM, just like you've done in the past, wheelie bars and all of the things that have to do with tech. Then the twins will run against themselves, and that's a 950, 1050, 4,000 RPM course class. And then we've got, and we're not sure if the word open should be used, but we're doing it right at the moment because I've got one instructor that's building a 2-cylinder diesel and turbocharging it. I've got another instructor building an electric one. Somebody might want to run open RPM. We're not going to be able to handle the biggest boys, but we should be able to do what a majority of us love to do and have a good time doing it.
Well, I will mention, like, there's probably a few people that's jumping on right now. 4,000 RPM. That's going to be a little tricky for some of us stock boys to come under, because I will tell you, and it's no shout out to anybody. Harbor Freight, when you go buy those motors, they are stock about 4,300 RPM,
Okay.
and that is without anything going on. So
Well,
that may be something to
we
consider.
so again, I've only been this a very short period of time in leadership and advice. I'll take every bit of it. Here,
Yeah,
Pika area, with the people that run stock flywheels on their Kohlers, they're only designed for 3,800. They only allow 4,000. But when I went to Lebanon, it was 4,250, and I loved it because I don't run a stock flywheel on my machines.
yeah.
So, okay, 4,250. Is that what you're thinking is going to be the best? I'm
42, 4,300. And like I said, I'm going to be a little off. And I know, like I just said a while ago, the guys are going to jump on the keyboards and correct me on some things. But, some guys can jump on here. And you were talking about Lebanon. And I know that sled owner real personal.
yeah.
So, and that may be something to where you guys are thinking that, hey, this is what this is. But that's why I want to jump on here and talk to you and,
Tony,
get the word out there about you guys. But yeah, no, we will be in contact
right?
and we'll get that final RPM kind
Yeah,
of
now
finalized.
test and tune. So it being if people are coming from other clubs that run 4250, and I'm just going along here at this moment, but you're testing and tuning your machine, and
Yeah.
you know where you're going back home to. And if that is the RPM, then again, we're going to be very flexible at this. We're here for the fun times, not for the serious side of things. We're going to be safe, and
Oh
we're
yeah.
going to rules as closely as possible. And yeah, any kind of leadership on this will be great because May 1st is coming really fast.
Don't look at me for leadership. No, 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 no. I'll be at the back of the pit area.
Oh,
All
okay.
I'm trying to do is get some answers quick or some questions answered on
Well,
what you guys are doing over there. But no, we do.
very,
We look forward to it. I know, like I said, there's a lot of guys that are interested. I put out a video and we've got over 1,000 views on it. A lot of questions coming out. Hey, what skills USA and what exactly is going on over there? Who's the sled owner?
yep,
Who's is this just some guy off the street that seen a tractor going down the road and wants to have it in the front lawn of the university or what's what? But like me and you talked earlier, you talked with Dave Scope out of or Dave Scoop.
Scobie.
He's gonna be yelling at me later because I can never pronounce his last name.
Yeah,
But he's out of Branson area, garden tractors down there, and heck of a guy, real good guy to get some answers from. That
yes,
would be somebody to lean that RPM rule.
yep,
But no, most of us are going to show up. We're going to run. We're going to run uh, legal, safety wise. So
exactly.
we'll run our rear kills. We'll run our front kill switches, and we'll run the exhaust straight up, so nothing's going towards spectators.
Right.
Most of us, or most people, will run pro cuts. Some of us will run lugs, but yeah, you will see a whole variety of tractors, showing up to this. I mean, like me, you talked earlier, is this person may have grew up on Cub Cadets, or this person may grew up on John Deere, and so you'll see that whole variety there. And each and every one of us will be more than glad to answer either your questions, student questions, or anybody that may be there wanting to ask a question about what we do, where we do it, how do we get into this. And yeah, we look forward to any kind of question. Well, any of us be more than glad to answer anything too. So
Exactly. Well, it's going to be on our Huntoon campus. There is going to be a long street. I'm trying to remember the name of the street that comes off of Huntoon and goes to the north. The grounds are going to be right on the corner of our campus. They're beautiful. I've got a very large area for parking. We're going to be all right as far as the size of the grounds, and we'll have some leadership on what to follow on how to get into that grounds area. With the car show going on, there'll be a lot of folks moving in and out, a lot of moving pieces. But I have high hopes that this is going to work out real well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, because like we was talking earlier with the car show, and I believe you said it was over 15, 20 years now with that car show.
This is the 25th anniversary of the car show,
Yeah.
and
So I mean,
up the whole front
just
of the
like the car show, with us is, we like to show up and show what we have.
yep.
So we're a little different from that car show guys. I mean, we like to pull that sled behind us and go out there and make some noise and wake some people up still.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, well, and again, I believe on your website that you've got my contact and my cell phone number, and anybody
yep.
wants to call her, they're more than welcome to call that 1477 number, and I'll be happy to answer any questions I can.
Okay. But yeah, no, I'll go with any. Give me 2 seconds. I just had somebody ask me another question. Hold on.
Okay.
Never mind. It wasn't a question. It was somebody saying 4,300 would be a good
Would be good.
level for the RPMs because
Okay.
that'll from what he said is some motors go a little higher than others, but 4,300 should get all the stock boys under there. So
Sounds good.
yeah,
Sounds good. Our tech will be probably pretty quick. If there's a large number of folks coming in, they're all going to want to be around for that start at 9 o'clock. I know myself, I'm going to be there really early. Even though it said tech is going to start at 8, I know folks are going to be coming in earlier than that, and the scales will be on and ready to go, and all of those sort of things. There will be a waiver to sign because we are a university that removes us from any harm. But all in all, we should be able to go through tech pretty quick, and the scales will be open for anybody at any time they want to check themselves more than once.
okay. All the rules and everything will be with uh, through you and through the university, or is there a certain club that some of the guys need to follow?
Well, so we're going to follow the standard rules that most clubs follow.
Okay.
We're going to allow pro cut for sure. The measurement of the tractor, the wheelbase and the overall length are going to be observed. Wheelie bars are I think, are supposed to be 5.5 inches from the ground to the bottom of the tire. Rear cutoff switch that's active. Hitch height that's 13 inches. All the things that are pretty common when you're sitting and building your tractor will be
Okay.
definitely that.
All righty. Well, we will. I don't know what do you want to jump on about a couple weeks before, kind of
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what your guys is looking like with and
Yep.
whatever. So if there is anybody that maybe can't show up like myself, is there any way that we can donate to the university?
There
Um,
again, all the funds will be going to the foundation, and then the foundation will be approved by the dean when the funds are distributed. So I have never been asked that question. I could be the liaison for that, but if people are not comfortable because they never met me before, I do understand that. But if they want to send it to me directly, or if they want to get a hold of me and find out if I found the better avenue for sending funds, I can do so because my dean's name is Chaz Haven, and sending it to Chaz also would probably work well. But we will definitely get the funds into the foundation for these young people.
okay. Well, is there anything else you want to cover? Because I know we talked about what the Skills USA is. We talked about the tractor pull where it's going to be. You said there's going to be plenty of room for guys that are either, as some people may know, the Yoder toter is what we put the tractors. We put tractors in the back of the van. We don't pull a trailer.
Yep.
So, or the guys with the bigger rigs. You said there was plenty of room for about anybody.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you maybe want to cover?
The road's name's Chatham, and it runs south right next to the ground. So if somebody does come in with a toter home that they don't feel comfortable pulling on the grass, we should definitely have some street room for them. If not, we'll have parking in the rear, and we'll have areas for everybody with bigger rigs. And again, as they're coming into town and they want to give me a call and say, hey, we're coming with a 40-footer, I'll meet them on the corner and direct them to the best place to park.
That'll work.
Or I'll send a young person too. But we're going to have quite a bunch of folks that'll be helping with all the moving pieces.
Yep. But yeah, no, this live will be able to review or review after we jump off, and so anybody can see it. Like David said, and like I've said, if anybody's got any questions, hit me up on any of my social medias. You guys can get on one of my videos, you'll see me talking about the May 1st poll. And at the end of that video will be all of David's info. If you can't find it, hit me up. Or if you can find it, hit David up, and we will get all these questions and everything answered. And we do. We look forward to seeing you out there. Hopefully, a lot of us show up, and we'll put on a good poll for you guys.
Yep. Let's pray to the Lord for good weather and good track conditions. And I'm sure the camaraderie and fellowship is going to follow.
Yep. And like you said, there's a car show going on. So
yep.
I know there'll be a few guys with their name hollered, and you'll be seeing us running across the grass because we're over there looking at pretty cars. So.
And there's plenty of them. They take up the whole front lot. So they'll be. Well, do appreciate support on this, and sure looking forward to a good turnout.
Well, like I said, we'll intervene again probably mid-April, end of April, and we'll see what happens and see if anybody else has any questions or comments, and kind of give an idea of maybe do a roll call and see how many people is going to show up, and see what kind of turnout this is going to be to help them kids when they go to Elena, so they don't have to worry about expenses and whatnot. So
right. If they're wanting to know if there's any lodging close by, we're going to be on we're very close to Wanamaker, which is the north-south road. It's the main road here in Topeka, and so just about any hotel on Wanamaker will work out real well.
All righty. Well, until next time, David, we'll do this again.
Look forward to it, Tony. Everybody have a blessed
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Bye-bye.